U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is pushing Israel and Hamas to reach a ceasefire deal as he ends another Middle East visit. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Meghani reports.
The deal would free hostages and pause the nearly 7 months of Gaza fighting.
No delays, no excuses. The time is now.
In Tel Aviv, Blinken told Israel's ceremonial president Hamas will be to blame if the deal does not happen. The talks appear serious, but there are big differences on a key issue. Hamas wants the Israeli offensive to end if all hostages are freed. Israel's only offering a pause. After a meeting today, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office says he made clear to Blinken Israel will carry out a military operation in Rafah, which it calls Hamas's last major stronghold. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
The U.S. Treasury and State Department have imposed new sanctions Wednesday on hundreds of firms and people tied to Russia's weapons development program. More than a dozen Chinese firms accused of helping Russia find workarounds to sanctions, and individuals tied to the death of Russian dissident Alexei Navalny. The sanctions target Russia's military-industrial base, chemical weapons programs, and firms and people in third countries that help Russia acquire weapons components. Russian President Vladimir Putin has repeatedly railed against rounds of U.S. and Western sanctions, claiming last year that they're, quote, illegitimate sanctions on his country. A humanitarian crisis is worsening in northeastern Mali, where armed groups linked to Islamic State have besieged towns, leaving residents, including some 80,000 children, vulnerable to disease and malnutrition. The town of Menaka in northeastern Mali has been under siege for 4 months, driving up the prices of food. Residents and aid groups say other essential goods like medication are increasingly hard to find. For additional stories, visit voanews.com. This is VOA News. A surprise announcement that revealed Haiti's new prime minister is dividing a recently installed transitional council tasked with choosing new leaders for the gang-riddled Caribbean country. VOA's Tommy McNeil reports.
4 of 7 council members with voting power said Tuesday that they had chosen Fritz Belizaire as prime minister. Many Haitians were taken aback by their declaration and unexpected political alliance. The council members who oppose Belizaire are now weighing options, including fighting the decision or resigning from the council. Belizaire served as Haiti sports minister from 2006 to 2011. Tommy McNeil, VOA News.
Georgia's parliament has moved a step closer to passing a law that critics fear will stifle media freedom and endanger the country's European Union membership bid. Tens of thousands of protesters have thronged surrounding streets. Police used water cannons, tear gas, and pepper spray against the demonstrators. Dozens of people were arrested in the latest rallies. An opposition leader was seen bandaged and bruised. Protesters denounced the bill as, quote, the Russian law, because neighboring Russia uses similar legislation to stigmatize independent news media and organizations critical of the Kremlin. A third and final reading of the bill is ahead. Trump returns to the campaign facing a warning of jail time if he violates a trial gag order. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports.
Donald Trump using a day off from court to rally voters in Wisconsin and Michigan, which are among a handful of battleground states expected to decide the election. The Republican frontrunner's remarks will be closely watched after he received a $9,000 fine for making public statements about people connected to his hush money trial in New York. Trump insisting it's free speech and speaking yesterday after court.
This is a corrupt system we're in, and I think the people are understanding it.
Trump is back in court tomorrow for the trial where the judge will weigh other alleged gag order violations. He's charged with falsifying business records to pay hush money to silence women before the 2016 election. He denies this and says they were correctly marked as legal expenses. Julie Walker, New York.
The U.S. military plans to return to Chad within a month for talks about revising an agreement that allows it to keep troops based there. The commander of U.S. Africa Command made the comments to reporters in Ghana on Wednesday. The U.S. said last month it was pulling most of its contingent of about 100 troops from Chad after the government questioned the legality of their operations there. This followed Niger's decision to order all U.S. troops out of the country. That dealt a blow to U.S. military operations in the Sahel.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.